Previously on the Rod Pedersen Show.
Poll question today. Number one was, should Javier have been pulled after 6 innings while he's got a no-hitter on the go? Yes or no? Capital Auto Mall has dealerships all across the Canadian prairies and the state of California. And I voted that yes, he should have been pulled. The last I saw, over 70% of our respondents saying that no, he shouldn't have been pulled. He should have been able to take this no-hitter into the 7th and as long as he could go. But this is the World Series, Darren. It's about wins, and I'm fully on with the Houston Astros today. I'm kind of surprised that it's even a controversy or discussion. Where are you on that? What are you voting?
I'm voting yes. And the reason I'm voting yes is because we have hindsight in our favor here. Hindsight's 20/20. So they pulled him. They continued the no-hitter. They won the game. So the evidence tells us it was the right decision to pull him. Yeah. We don't know that he would have continued the no-hitter. Now, in the moment, I'm a purist who says, no, let him try and run the table here. Why would you? It goes back to the Jays situation when you pulled your star pitcher, and then when he was playing well at the first sign of trouble, and you lost the game. But I vote yes because it worked out, and who are we to argue? They won the game and they completed the no-hitter.
Exactly, and yeah.
Get ready for the Rod Pedersen Show.
Montreal is favored by 3 at home over the Hamilton Tiger Cats in the Eastern semifinal. Deal or no deal?
No deal. I picked Hamilton to win the game outright, and I think they will. They're hot, and I think they're headed to the Grey Cup.
The BC Lions are favored by 2.5 at home over the Calgary Stampeders in the Western semifinal. Deal or no deal?
You know what? I'm going to take the deal. It's Amar Doman. He's got me pumped.
This is the Rod Pedersen Show.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the RP Show. Football Friday. This is the warm-up, however, so we're going to cover all sports and all things. We're going to cover life and all the rest. I'm very excited about the program today because rock legend Tom Cochrane is coming on. Hour 2, 1:20 Eastern, 11:20 Mountain, which is where we reside out here in Alberta, God's country. We're live from Grey Eagle Resort and Casino, Calgary's entertainment destination at the Stage Bar. And also coming up today, former Calgary Stampeder and Nevada Wolfpack offensive lineman John Bender. I'm going to tell you right now, why not bring in the Moose from the NHL's Bermuda Triangle? Moose, hair. I'm getting great hair. I'm getting a real universe connection today. My guides are coming through, as they would say. Listen, I woke up this morning and I had a text message from one Cody Fajardo, who informed me that he is back in Nevada, made the long road trip back there with his young family, and he'll be in touch, and the rest will be between us. But then we got John Bender, who played for the Nevada Wolfpack, but with Colin Kaepernick. And he's going to be with us live here at the Grey Eagle. Our COO, Lee Genier's in the house. He's going to be coming up. So, dude, are you ready for a very exciting show as we close this week?
I am so ready. The universe thing is awesome. I was having a great call with one of our friends, Leighton Burton, who's heading up the journalism program at the University of Regina. We have those great interns that roll through our program. He said he's going to call you probably next week, but he's in the car going to Winnipeg. They're listening to the program right now. I think he's going to go watch the Winnipeg Jets. I think the Blackhawks are rolling through town. So a lot of good vibes on the Friday, Rod.
Yes, for sure. Although, can you hit the quick six, show horn, Director Jordan, and then we'll go for... I did trigger some people that don't have the same views as I do, not even necessarily politically, and Leighton might fall into that side of things, but that's okay. We love each other. We've been friends for a long time. I'm going to go with the NHL morning skate, even though it is Football Friday here, because here's what happened. 13 games last night. I'm not going to get into them all, but Andrei Kuzmenko scored his first NHL hat trick, added an assist as the Vancouver Canucks beat the Anaheim Ducks 8-5. You would think that was the wildest game of the night, and it probably was. But up at Edmonton, the Oilers conceded 3 third-period goals after being up 3-1 and lost 4-3 to the Devils. They got pantsed. Derek Ryan, Neon Leon, and Connor McDavid all scored for Edmonton, who were denied a sixth straight win. In Winnipeg, they're very excited, and they should be. Kyle Connor scored in overtime as the Winnipeg Jets defeated the Montreal Canadiens at Canada Life Centre. I think it was it 3-2 or 4-3? Either way, Pierre-Luc Dubois and Blake Wheeler scored for the Jets. I guess it was 3-2. Meanwhile, Nick Suzuki and Kirby Dach, Hickory Dickory Dock, Kirby Dach scored for the Habs. Here in Calgary, the Flames dropped their third in a row in a tough 4-1 loss to the Nashville Predators. Nashville jumped out to a 3-0 lead before Calgary got on the board behind a Blake Coleman goal, my favorite Flame in the third. Darren, I swear I was there and I was in the lower bowl. I think I heard boos at the end of the first period, like almost booing them off the ice. Our guest is here, Lee. If you could please say, hey, thanks, Lee. John Bender's just showed up. John Bender's in the building. And anyways, I'm writing messages to the media up on the press box. I'm like, did I hear the Flames got booed off the ice? And they were like, nope, you're hearing things. And I'm like, okay, maybe. That's been known to happen. But I was hanging out with Brett Wilson, the owner of the Nashville Predators, and that was cool. And listen, I'm not going to get into any kind of political war here today. I don't have the energy. But people are writing our blog anonymously, DMing me anonymously because they don't have the stones to come out publicly and say what they think. And they're like, no, this is very clear what you're all about. I'm not reading your website anymore. I'm unfollowing you. And I'm like, what? Because he's a friend? Brett Wilson's been unbelievable to me. Personally, he's been a mentor to me. And then I'm like, wait, what? You have a problem that I'm pro-Western Canada, pro-energy, pro-oil and gas, pro-ag, pro-beef. If you don't like that, goodbye. I don't want you following me. And forget about the sports side of things. Brett Wilson's just a friend, and he's been great to me. So anyways, I told you I've been fighting off these people this morning. So are you okay with that, Moose?
I'm okay with it because you know what? I know it's not political. I know the person that you are. I mean, it's your background. I have no problem with that. But again, people just want to create the association and not actually understand who we are as human beings. And it's two people talking and connecting, two Saskatchewan guys who have gone and done some great things. Forget about political stuff.
Yeah, that's what it was. Now, before we move on to Thursday Night Football World Series, I don't know if you have it in front of you, but you were reading me and sending me some TikTok comments from, because I'm not even on TikTok. I can't figure out how to download it on my phone because I'm in the U.S. region, up here in Canada, blah. You have them handy? So you put my NHL top 5 there or the... Yeah, whatever. Just give us a couple. Read us angry TikTok comments. Yeah.
No, you can answer these, but Ryan writes in and he says, how is Vegas number 1 in the West when you have Edmonton ahead of them overall in your top 5? So Vegas is 1 in the West, but you've got Edmonton rated higher.
Standings don't matter. Standings don't matter. As of right now, the Calgary Flames would be in my bottom 5 based on what's gone on in the last week, but I'm talking about who is the talented teams. And so it's not about standings. Next.
I love it. B writes in, Buffalo has had a complete shift in team dynamics. They actually care and play with meaning. They think that Buffalo is a top 8 for sure. Where do you sit on Buffalo?
Good for them. I have the show. They don't. Go do your own TikTok video. The Buffalo Sabres are still the Buffalo Sabres until we realize that they're not the Buffalo Sabres. Next.
All right. The last one came in from Derek. He said, 3 of your top teams are in the Pacific. So he's asking, did they go from the weakest division to the toughest division now?
Who said it was the weakest division? Based on what? They thought the Eastern Conference last year was a romp. Remember, every team in the playoffs had 100 points in the Eastern Conference, and the team that won was the Colorado Avalanche out of the West. So thanks for playing, thanks for following, but you don't know anything. First, a word from our sponsor. From Edo Japan, with more than 160 restaurants nationwide, Edo Japan is proud to be Canadian-owned and operated for more than 40 years. Thursday Night Football, Jalen Hurts threw for 243 yards and 2 touchdowns, and the Philadelphia Eagles overcame a slow start to get a 29-17 win over the Houston Texans, giving them their first 8-0 start in franchise history. Moose, I didn't even watch a snap. I was hanging out with Brett Wilson in the Saddle Dome. So how was the game?
It was actually okay. I wasn't really geared up for it, but Houston played Philly tough. But in the end, their defense and Jalen Hurts and this group, they're too good. They're too good. And so they survived a little bit of a scare, but it ended up being better than you expected it to be.
Well, that's good. I just saw Texans on the schedule. I'm like, this will be a dud. And Philly won at 29-17. Good for the Eagles. Their fans are probably the most annoying in the NFL, save for the Dallas Cowboys, of which I'm one, Cowboys fans. So good for them. They're earning it. So fly, Eagles, fly. Folks, New York Fries is a proud member of the Calgary community, and to give back, they're hosting free public skating opportunities at ice rinks around Calgary, open to families and the general public in support of Kids Sport Calgary. Visit FamilySkateYYC.com for a full list of times and locations. Presented by New York Fries. Point 3, Justin Verlander overcame an early jolt to grit out the World Series win that long eluded him. Rookie Jeremy Pena hit a go-ahead home run, and the Houston Astros beat the Philadelphia Phillies 3-2 to head home with a 3-2 lead Thursday night. They can clinch it at home on Saturday. World Series coverage for Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. They're hiring now. Find everything you need to know about Bronco at broncoplumbing.com and our Facebook and Instagram pages. They're the preferred plumbing, heating, and cooling company, the RP Show. We're doing well here for time. CFL Division semifinal playoff games go this weekend, and I'll stop right here and say that's our poll question today for Capital Auto Mall Universal Collision Center. And I know it's a little bit of a headache to vote on it. You got to stop and think. We've got 4 polls options there. Are the home teams going to win, the road teams going to both win, or a split of both? I think Montreal and Calgary are going to win. Darren, you've gone on record, and we'll say it again. You are on record as saying you think Hamilton and BC are going to win, correct? You're the exact opposite of me. Right. Did you see that?
That's right.
BC and Hamilton. Okay, we're supposed to be hearing today an announcement on the Grey Cup halftime show. That's the word I got out of the CFL office, and I got to thank the CFL. I've been accredited for every single event of the 2022 CFL Championship in Regina, so thank you, CFL, for doing that. The games, the halftime announcement, CFL's front and center right now, Moose.
You should be announcing that, and it should be exciting. We're hearing rumblings of this name and that name, and so we don't really know who it's going to be. But I hope for the sake of the act, whoever's chosen, that, it goes over well, and I hope they have a good show, because it's a tough position for them to be in right now. Very tough spot.
Yeah. But we're CFL fans. We always will be. By the way, coming up in hour 2, Tom Cochrane. He's appearing tonight here at the Grey Eagle Event Center. Saturday, Lee tells me, at River Cree in Edmonton. You can win tickets to the Tom Cochrane Show tonight at Grey Eagle Event Center by texting tickets, all caps, to 902-518-3033 to enter. Now, obviously, it would be nice if you're in the Calgary area, if you're watching right now on Game Plus or listening on the radio or streaming. The winner will be picked randomly after the show today and be notified. You'll be coming to the show tonight, Tom Cochrane, here at the Event Center. That is very exciting. I can't wait to interview Tom Cochrane. Okay, Moose, because I don't think you're going to be on again today, we're going to do an abbreviated NFL Deal or No Deal for week, 9 in the National Football, abbreviated. So these are the big games that I've identified. Our Falcons, #Rise Up, because we're on the air, WQEE, your southern home of sports and talk in Atlanta right now. Falcons home to the LA Chargers. LA favored by 3 at Mercedes Stadium. Deal or no deal?
Toughest game to pick, but I'm going to go with deal. Chargers have too much talent.
Nay. I'm all Falcons all the time. The Miami Dolphins are at the Chicago Bears, and the Finns are favored by 4.5 on the road. Deal or no deal?
I'll take the deal. Tua's got something special with that team.
The Green Bay Packers. I'm just following this because of the train wreck that is Aaron Rodgers. I'm not the biggest fan of Aaron Rodgers, but I'll give him kudos for being unapologetically him. The Packers are at the Detroit Lions, and the Packers are favored by 3.5 points. Deal or no deal?
I'll take the deal. Slump buster for the Packers.
Tennessee Titans at the Kansas City Chiefs. I don't know. It's hard for you to pick for your team. I know your favorite team, the Titans. They are underdogs, obviously, at KC. 12.5. Kansas City favored at Arrowhead. Deal or no deal?
Oh, no deal. And this is the football guy saying it, not the Titan fan. Tennessee's defense is one of the top defenses in the NFL right now. They'll keep it closer than 12.5. I don't think they'll win, though.
Lastly, Los Angeles Rams at Tampa Bay. The Bucs are favored by 3 at home over the Los Angeles Rams. Isn't that interesting, the way that the Bucs are playing? Well, they've lost 3 in a row, 4 of 5, but they're favored at home over the Rams. Deal or no deal?
They're only 1 game back of the division lead, but the Rams are struggling too. I'll take the deal. Something's not right with the Rams.
Kevin, the medium, has chimed in. He said, BC Lions in Montreal, take it to the bank. And in Seattle, you will be a happy bettor. Take that to the bank. From Jeff, the Stamps fans, got the line of the week. Says, I'm starting to think the 2023 Grey Cup halftime announcement will be made before the 2022 halftime announcement. Right. We have still plenty of time here in the warm-up. And then John Bender joins us, former Nevada Wolfpack offensive lineman and the Calgary Stampeders, teammate of Colin Kaepernick. Because it is Football Friday, huge college football weekend, point 10. I got some big games here. Georgia Bulldogs home to Tennessee. The Bulldogs favored by 8. Alabama Crimson Tide at LSU. Serena's favorite team against my favorite team. Tide favored by 13.5. Clemson at Notre Dame. Clemson favored by 3.5 on the road. But a huge weekend for Canada West football. The semifinals, Manitoba at Saskatchewan Huskies. UBC Thunderbirds at the Regina Rams. Which one are you calling? I think you told me, but I forgot.
Yeah, I'm calling the UBC Regina game, and just had my conversations with UBC coaches, players, personnel yesterday, and talking to the Rams today. This is a game where I can't tell you who's going to win. I have no idea, and those are the most exciting to call.
That's your prediction?
Yeah, I don't really know who's going to win. I think this is going to be a fun game. UBC's played a lot better in the second half, and this is the best Regina Rams team we've seen in 7 or 8 years. It feels like so. Very exciting, and I'm expecting with playoff football in Regina. What could be better for the folks here in Saskatchewan?
Yeah, and that's the fun thing about our show, Golden Corral of Sports Talk. It's a little bit of everything for everybody. But I was reading the game notes. Here we go. Ryan O'Radio has chimed in. Mosey's from WQEE, the key. He says, RP is Atlanta. Hashtag true to Atlanta. Time for another great show. But I will drop in just some Canadian University. I was reading the game notes. This is the first time in history that both Canada West semifinals are being played in Saskatchewan on the same day. First time ever. And Darren said he's got the Rams and the Thunderbirds game. It's on TELUS Television, SaskTel Television, Bell MTS, all the same cable carriers that carry this fine program on Game Plus TV. So that's exciting. And in 60 seconds or less, any parting shots from you? This is it, dude. Weekend time.
Yeah, this is it. I hope everybody has a great weekend. Looking forward to it. Both, hockey tomorrow are obviously a big slate of university football games, and then NFL on Sunday, man. You enjoy chatting with Tom Cochrane and enjoy your weekend, too. Ooh,
I can't wait. It's going to be emotional. Thanks, Moose. Appreciate you. John Bender in next, and on the way, no regrets, Tom Cochrane. We're live from Grey Eagle Resort and Casino on Game Plus Television, YouTube Live, and on your southern home of sports and talk, WQEE 99.1 FM.
Have you subscribed to the Rod Pedersen Show YouTube channel yet? Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now.
Grey Eagle Resort and Casino.
And that's a wrap on summer, everyone. Things are about to get back to busy. Work, school, errands, they're all coming back. That's why we make buying easy at Capital Ford Lincoln. We have a great selection of brand new F-150s in stock. Drive it off the lot today. Reserve an incoming unit or pre-order the perfect vehicle for you. And make some cold hard cash by selling us your used vehicle. We pay big and you can skip the hassle of selling privately. Plus, our service department is always here to help with any make or model. Capital Ford Lincoln, making back to busy easy.
People donate blood for moments like this.
But there are lots of reasons why Canada's Lifeline needs donors every day.
Like the fact that someone with leukemia can need up to 8 units of blood a week.
Or that donated blood lasts no longer than 42 days.
Or to help new moms and babies, like Henry.
There's lots of reasons to donate blood. That's why we need donors every day.
The need for blood is constant. Join Toyota and our Toyota dealers in supporting Canada's Lifeline.
Smoky in the air, that's a lot of time. Big time, big time, big time, big time. Big time.
Easy snacking all around. Something everyone can love.
Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. Experts in all residential and commercial plumbing services and proudly serving Regina and area since 1978. Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. We'll treat you right.
Nestled in the scenic Qu'Appelle Valley, just 20 minutes northwest of Regina, is one of the finest golf courses in all of Saskatchewan, the Deer Valley Golf Club. The clubhouse has a full-service restaurant, and customers can enjoy a casual dining experience with spectacular views of the golf course and valley. A fully stocked golf shop, staffed by PGA of Canada professionals, is equipped to meet all of your golf apparel and equipment needs. Book your tee time, family event, or corporate tournament today at the Deer Valley Golf Club. Call 306-731-1445.
Here's how your business can be a part of Canada's fastest growing sports talk show. All you have to do is contact us, and we will tell you all about the dynamic and exciting marketing opportunities we have, utilizing a fully integrated 360-degree multi-platform. Imagine your business seen and heard across Canada on Game Plus TV and around the world on the Rod Pedersen Digital Network. You will use one of the most overused expressions in sports. You gotta be kidding me. Get your business involved. Contact the Rod Pedersen Show today.
And we're back live at Grey Eagle Resort and Casino. Look at that beautiful place here in the foothills. I dropped by Winsport Arena yesterday, by the way, guys. I hear Ryan in my ear, our technical producer. Ryan, I thought you'd be out here doing the Pan-Continental Curling. That's why I was looking for you. You have to tell me what's going on, which of the IKS crew is there. But we're at Grey Eagle, Calgary's entertainment destination. It's Football Friday, and I'm so pleased to welcome in John Bender. And he is a football name, but you played at Nevada, played for the Calgary Stampeders. How does a guy, by the way, welcome, John.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Appreciate your longtime support of this show and all the rest. How's a guy from Three Hills, Alberta, end up playing with Colin Kaepernick with the Nevada Wolfpack? Can we start there?
Sure, that's a great question, actually.
That's what I do.
Yeah, for sure. So when I was growing up in Three Hills, I was playing sports, obviously, played basketball, track and field, things like that, playing at the provincial level and doing all those things. And I talked to a lot of people that played football and thought that that would be a great fit for me. So I had an uncle that lived in and around the Cochrane area. I moved in with him and then started playing football at Cochrane High School in grade 11, grade 12. When I was playing at Cochrane High, my offensive line coach was John Forzani. One of our DB coaches was Ted Heller. They would eventually buy the Stampeders together. And, when we were playing, we had a game at McMahon Stadium. Jim Barker, who was the Stampeders GM at the time, he watched me play. And he had connections to University of Nevada. That's where he was a wide receiver coach previously. And he reached out to Coach Chris Alt, told him, we got a kid up here who's 6'8", 320. You might want to take a look at him. And, and from there, I eventually ended up with a scholarship offer to the University of Nevada. And I played there was there for 5 seasons, started for 4. And, the exact same time Colin Kaepernick was there. We were good friends and started to play a lot of football together.
And before I get into the cap thing, you're doing some media hits. Tell our viewers, the Calgary viewers would know your name and CFL fans, but for those that don't, you're a regular on the radio here too.
Yeah, for sure. I've been going on Sportsnet 960, and then I've done a few podcasts over the years as well. And yeah, pretty regularly on radio or podcasts or doing some sort of media hits with either CFL or NFL and in around, on a lot of different shows in Western Canada, including the Rod Pedersen Show now.
Yeah, absolutely. And we're so happy to have you. Hopefully we can make it a regular thing.
For sure.
We're not going anywhere, and other than back to Florida here before too long, but you get it. Cap. So when all this went down with the kneeling controversy, is he misunderstood at all? Is there something about Colin Kaepernick that we're not getting? Where are you on that?
So I think top to bottom, you have to remember, I know Colin very well, the human, the family, everything that goes around with that. So I think that, I think Colin's coming from a good place with all of this, of course. I think that, what he's trying to do and what he's trying to, show is that there are, some things that we need, that he thinks that America needs to change. And, I think that he was trying to get that point across, wasn't getting a lot of attention. And when he knelt for the anthem, he sure got everyone's attention. And, it all became a talking point. And unfortunately, I think a lot of his message was lost through the medium that he did that. Through kneeling for the anthem, people were saying that he was disrespecting military, things like that. I don't think that's his message at all. That's not what he's trying to get across. And, I think that, unfortunately, the NFL and the owners have decided that they no longer want to have him in the league. He's obviously an NFL quarterback, should be an NFL quarterback, is such a great athlete that he would be a guy that they would, exercise every opportunity, whether playing at a wide receiver like Terrell Pryor or someone similar, or he never got that opportunity. So that tells me, above and beyond, the quarterback, he was a better quarterback than Terrell Pryor was as a pro as well, that, he never got the opportunity. There was rumors, I think there was a release that came out that he settled with the NFL for an undisclosed amount previously. I'd imagine he's going to continue to get paid for a while from the NFL just to kind of not be there, which is unfortunate, but it's the way things have played out, and that's the reality we live in.
Life's about choices.
For sure.
Can you make a quick answer out of this one? It's a great question. I just don't want to take too much time on it. Dan in Saskatoon says, was the pistol offense that is seen everywhere in football now indeed invented by Chris Holt while you were at Nevada?
So it was invented just before I got to the University of Nevada. But yes, they invented the pistol offense, and they told us they were drawing it up on tape in the in the locker room, trying to figure out a way to make it work. And throughout my career at Nevada, we tweaked it a little bit, but that was definitely their bread and butter. That's what they're known for, is starting the pistol offense.
There you go. Thank you. Now, just one more thing on Nevada. As I said to John when he showed up here, and at the start of the show, I'm getting a real Karma Universe thing today because I woke up and had a text from Cody Fajardo, formerly of the Nevada Wolfpack. And you, being a CFL alum and watching the league very closely, must have a take of how that story is ending in Saskatchewan.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, he's a guy I know as well. When I was a senior, Cody was a freshman at Nevada, and we used to always joke with our defense that he would tear them up at practice. So we'd see the guys in the locker room and say, don't make me send Cody after you guys, get it going again. But, little things like that. But, yeah, I think Cody's kind of got a tough deal this year. He was obviously hurt, played hurt, did everything he can for the Rough Riders organization, trying to, be warrior, battle through some pain, battle through some injury, and, lead the team as far as he could and do as well as he could. And unfortunately, I don't think played as well as he could have because of the injury. And now, I don't know if the team or the organization's using that as an opportunity to move on from Cody, because I know that a lot of people in the organization, it sure seemed like the end of the year that, they weren't doing everything they could to make the playoffs with playing, the backup quarterbacks the last two games, even when the playoff spot was still open in the second game there. So I thought that was very interesting, but, it's the CFL, there's a lot of non-guaranteed contracts. If there's an opportunity to restructure quarterback's contract or anyone else's contract, it sure seems like a lot of these organizations take advantage of that.
Well, yeah, it was good to hear from Cody. The contents, obviously, of our conversation are between us, but and he's not saying too much right now. He's just looking forward to free agency and excited to be back in Reno because that's where he's made his home, right? So, and for you, there's a lot of questions coming in for you. Very popular guy, John. Which I appreciate you spending the time here. But you only spent 1 year with the Stamps. You're clearly good enough to have a long career. What made you decide to move into the industry you're in now back then?
Well, so I had a pretty disappointing CFL career. I'll say that first and foremost. In the 2010 CFL draft, I was one of the top-rated, CFL draft picks. And I got to the Stampeders, and day 3 of week 1, I ended up with a staph infection. And the Stampeders, they've been a great organization for a lot of years. There's a lot of talent in there. You look at the backups on the team when I was there. Stanley Bryant didn't start when I was on the Stampeders. Tony Washington. Tony Washington had a hard time starting when I was on the Stampeders. Spencer Wilson and John Gott were backups with me. And those guys both ended up playing for 5-10 years in the CFL. So there's just loaded with talent top to bottom, and unfortunately I wasn't able to break in there and get on the field, and got a staph infection, sat out most of the season, my rookie season. 2012 came back, was healthy, felt like I could contribute. Fortunately got released with a numbers squeeze there towards the end of the training camp, and when other teams in the CFL were interested in signing me, it was more or less here's league minimum for 3 years. How does that look? And not a lot of bonuses. And I was like, you know what? I've got a degree. I can go make similar money doing something else, not as hard on my body. My family situation at the time, I had a parent that was sick and just wanted to stay close to home. So I ended up doing that, and, it's been close to home here now, and started my financial planning practice. I'm a decade in the business, and I'm, really enjoying that where it's at.
Good for you. And analyzing football, so seems like life is good. So
for sure, yeah. No, it's been a good fit all around.
So to this weekend's semifinals. The Bet Regal is our exclusive betting partner, as well as the CFLs, and they have the home teams favored by about 2.5 points. Hamilton at Montreal in the East, Calgary at BC in the West. Home teams favored by 2.5 points. How do you think these games are going to go?
I'm really interested to see what happens in the East there. I think Hamilton's really come on strong. They're a team that really struggled out the gate, but they've come on strong. But I think they've got some great things in Montreal, too. They can really run the football. They can move the ball as well. So it'll be interesting to me to see how that plays out, because I think it's just, which team's hottest at this moment in time. I think Montreal having the home field advantage obviously, helps. So, essentially it's a pick-up with home teams, right? They're 2.5 points. So, it's anybody's game. But, I would look to the, to the Ticats as a team that's been there. They've been in the, can't quite win a Grey Cup, but been close a lot of times here over the years, especially the last few years. And I would look at them as a team that's going to, find an opportunity to, get it done in crunch time. And we look at the Stampeders, BC Lions. That's got to be the premier event, in Canada, I think, this weekend, because, you got Nathan Rourke, a great CFL quarterback, great Canadian quarterback who's, had an opportunity now here to really show, on the national stage in crunch time and playoff game, his first playoff start, what he can do against a team that's been, a perennial contender here since, John Huffnagel showed up again in 2008. So, I think that'd be a great opportunity for Nathan Rourke to show, and Jake Mayer, he's kind of new on the scene here as well with the Calgary Stampeders, kind of taking over for Bo Levi Mitchell. And it's no easy feat taking over for Bo, because Bo's been such a mainstay and such a great guy in the community, and, also been to 5 Grey Cups in the last decade. So, if Jake Mayer can take that next step, I think we got 2 great young quarterbacks in the CFL. We want to see, who can take that next step and show what they can do here in the West playoff game.
I can see why you're on the radio and have podcasts. Very well spoken. Jack Fulton, you would know Jack.
Yeah.
Watching out in Vulcan, he says, a huge thank you to John for his work with Life Choice Dynamics, helping CFL players prepare for financial success. I'm guessing you do that as a service?
Yeah, I usually drop by the Calgary Stampeders locker room, once a year or so, just kind of give them a rundown of these are some different things that life's going to hit you with over the next 5 to 10 years. Talk to some guys about some simple stuff like, this is how investments work. This is, how you would set up investment accounts. Some of the guys have kids. Talk to them, maybe looking at life insurance and things like that might be an option. This is how you set up a mortgage. Just kind of going through the ins and outs of financial planning. And, I got lots of questions. So it's good that the guys are engaged. And when they come to those events, then I see them at other events throughout the year. And they always come up and have follow-up questions and stuff like that. So it's good.
Isn't that rewarding?
For sure.
Now, to these playoff games, you talk about getting hot at the right time. I think Hamilton's won 4 in a row. And you talk about the veteran status of that team. They've been in the last 2 championships. So do you think that despite their early season foibles, that they're hot? Like, you're a believer in that?
Absolutely. They, if we look at the last few games for them in the last month, they beat the Calgary Stampeders at home.
Yeah.
You know, how many teams have done that over the years?
What a finish, by the way.
What a finish. Yeah, unbelievable game. And they never stopped believing. They had no quit. A lot of teams, when they come to McMahon Stadium over the years, you know, especially a 12-6 team that the Calgary Stampeders were this year, I know that they're not the usual 8-1 or 9-0 home team they've been over the years, but it's no easy feat to come here, win, you know, in October at McMahon Stadium. So I was very impressed with them when they did that. And then, you know, they had to go, you know, when the Riders came into town, they had to beat the Riders too, just to stay. So, you know, they never quit. You know, they've really fought to get to where they are, to get to the playoffs. Some people had them written off, you know, a month ago or, you know, 6 weeks ago. They really fought hard to get here. And now what are they going to do now that they're here? They're probably just going to keep rolling. So, you know, there's no team coming in hotter to the playoffs, I think, than the Hamilton Tiger Cats, especially in the East. And I'm really interested to see what they can do.
John, are you able to stick with us for one more segment?
For sure.
All right, awesome. John Bender with us, Calgary Stampeder alum and Nevada Wolfpack. I'm not going to a commercial just yet. A sports update, guys. If you can come back to me, Canada's Brad Gushu booked a ticket into the semifinals with a 5th straight win at the Pan-Continental Curling Championship Thursday with a 10-5 victory over New Zealand at Winsport in the evening draw. We were there on Thursday. Canada is set to face Chinese Taipei today to close the round robin. The inaugural Pan-Continental, is the first time they've ever done it, is a qualifier for all countries outside Europe for the 2023 Men's and Women's World Championships. Carrie Anderson has clinched a spot for Canada in the Women's Championship after winning 5 straight to open the tournament. Anderson's foursome dropped her first game of the tournament to the U.S. 8-6 on Thursday. So I'm sitting there watching the game, knowing we're on the air, on the radio in Atlanta, and 31 states going, USA, USA. I was torn, John. You know, you lived in Reno. So, yes, he's got a, you didn't know what to say. I didn't know what to say. I was at a glass case of emotion at Winsport Arena yesterday. Hockey, Riley Fiddler Schultz scored 2 goals in the final 8 minutes of the game as the Calgary Hitmen down the Victoria Royals 5-2 Thursday here at 7 Chiefs Arena on Sutina Nation in the dub. Oliver Tolk with 1 goal and 1 assist. Matteo Danis and London Hollett also scored for Calgary. Matthew Hodson and Calum Parker notched 1 goal apiece for Victoria. Logan Cunningham made 28 saves in a losing effort. Tonight, the Medicine Tigers are in town, and we'll be there on the air with the Tigers broadcast. This afternoon at 1 in the Saddle Dome, the Calgary Wranglers taking on Tucson today. So I'm thinking about a great hockey doubleheader here in Calgary. The Toronto Raptors finish off a 2-game Texas road swing when they visit the Dallas Mavericks tonight. It's a travel day for the Astros and Phillies before the World Series resumes Saturday at Minute Maid Park in Houston. The Astros took 2 of 3 at Citizens Bank Park in Philly with a 3-2 win Thursday night and a 3-2 series lead. The sports update for Edo, Japan. With more than 160 restaurants nationwide, Edo, Japan is proud to be Canadian-owned and operated for more than 40 years. More with John Bender coming up, and rock legend Tom Cochrane live here at the Stage Bar in Hour 2. We're on Game Plus Television, YouTube Live, and WQEE, The Key, 99.1 FM.
Have you subscribed to The Rod Pedersen Show YouTube channel yet? Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now.
Text 902-518-3033. 902-518-3033. Pick up your phone and text RP, that's Rod Pedersen. Text 902-518-3033.
Nestled in the scenic Qu'Appelle Valley, just 20 minutes northwest of Regina, is one of the finest golf courses in all of Saskatchewan, the Deer Valley Golf Club. The clubhouse has a full-service restaurant, and customers can enjoy a casual dining experience with spectacular views of the golf course and valley. A fully stocked golf shop, staffed by PGA of Canada professionals, is equipped to meet all of your golf apparel and equipment needs. Book your tee time, family event, or corporate tournament today at the Deer Valley Golf Club. Call 306-731-1445.
Golf, Hawaii, and the Four Seasons. Imagine picking up your clubs and feeling like a pro for one whole week in paradise. Well, you can get that chance this December with 5-star accommodations, a 3-day tournament at a championship course, and loads of VIP experiences. The Pro Leisure Golf Tour is going to make you feel like a pro even if your golf game doesn't. So whether you're looking to grab your golfing buddies for a tropical getaway or just wanting to find an exclusive VIP experience to take part in, the PLGT is perfect for you.
And that's a wrap on summer, everyone. Things are about to get back to busy. Work, school, errands, they're all coming back. That's why we make buying easy at Capital GMC. Reserve your brand new truck or SUV today. Check out our great selection of in-stock GM-certified pre-owned trucks. And make some cold hard cash by selling us your used vehicle. We pay big, and you can skip the hassle of selling privately. Plus, our service department is always here to help with any make or model. Capital GMC, making back to busy easy. Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. Experts in all residential and commercial plumbing services and proudly serving Regina and area since 1978. Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. We'll treat you right.
I gotta hit the beat. I gotta hit the beat. Gotta hit the
Download Dark Horse Bets today.
I gotta hit the beat.
Does this look familiar? Your fans deserve an incredible arena experience. It's time for an upgrade. Stunning graphics. Revenue opportunities are just the beginning with our in-venue display systems and scoring technology. Let us help you find the best solution for your facility. BDG, always delivering the best fan experience.
We are live at Great Eagle Resort and Casino. What a beautiful morning there in the foothills. And a very busy sports weekend going on. Although our guest here today, John Bender, NCAA football CFL alum, saying the event of the weekend in Canadian sports is in Vancouver, and I can't disagree with that. Sunday, the BC Lions, home to the Calgary Stampeders. More with John in a moment, but from our viewers, quite a few here. Well, they all know that Tom Cochrane's coming up in hour 2. Chris Charles watching in Surrey, BC on Game Plus TV, and he says maybe you can do the CFL a favor. Ask Tom Cochrane if he can do the Grey Cup show. Do you have any thoughts on the All-Star balloting scandal and the lack of a Grey Cup announcement?
I mean, yeah, so the Grey Cup announcement as far as having a halftime show, when you already have a sold-out stadium, I would imagine that what they're looking for is, maybe 2 or 3 acts. Maybe they have 1 or 2 confirmed, and maybe they're waiting on one. I'm not sure. I don't have insight there. But that's what I imagine is going on. But they do have a sold-out stadium. They are still expecting probably 3 million viewers on TV. If I was them, though, I would find the best act you can to younger people interested. Obviously, the CFL could use some younger fans, and whatever demographic that is or whoever that is, so I would look to that. A great ad for them for the halftime show that I would put out there would be Coulter Wall, Brad Wall's son.
Former Premier of Saskatchewan, yeah.
Especially with country music fans, the younger country music fans, maybe that'd be a great fit.
John Ferguson's watching on Game Plus television in London, Ontario, and he says, "Hi, Rod. Watching on Game Plus through Rogers Cable. Great show as usual." Thanks, John. He says, you mentioned the U Sports Western football semifinals. In the OUA, London, Ontario, Western Mustangs ranked number 1, are undefeated this year, and in the OUA semifinals. And here's your schedule. Queens Golden Gales at Ottawa GG's Saturday, 1 Eastern. And the other semifinal, Laurier Golden Hawks at the Western Mustangs. And that also 1 Eastern. Brady in Saskatoon's watching on Game Plus, and he says, I'm hoping Nathan Rourke, where did it go? Hoping Nathan Rourke comes out and plays well. Would be one heck of a story if he was to come back and lead them to the Cup. So that takes us back to the CFL. What a story. His younger brother, Curtis Rourke, lighting it up with the Ohio Bobcats, Division I football. And now Nathan, what a story with the BC Lions. How do you think he will fare in his first playoff game Sunday?
I mean, I think that, we saw him come into McMahon Stadium and win a 41-40 game over the Calgary Stampeders. I was very impressed there. I mean, he really struggled early, and as the game went on, it seemed that he kind of figured it out. Stampeders have one of the better defensive lines in the CFL. They have one of the better defensive schemes. They're a well-coached team top to bottom, and to come into McMahon Stadium and score 41 points, I was very impressed. So if he could do something similar, if he can, if he's healthy, watched him play last week. I know he only got in for a few snaps there, but it looked like he can still sling it. It looked like he was finding the reads, and he's got lots of talented receivers out there. So I wouldn't be surprised if we run into a shootout there and it ends up being another 41-40 type game, out there in BC this weekend.
Jamie out in Nova Scotia watching on Game Plus television. Gosh, I love the coast-to-coast nature of this show. Jamie writes, Chase Claypool, definitely not the saving grace the Chicago Bears are looking for to help catapult them into the playoffs, but great to see a Canadian play on my favorite team. Question for the football panel, besides what he brought to the Steelers, what can the Bears expect from Chase Claypool, and will he possibly help the Bears turn it around and make a run for the playoffs? As I knew before the season there on the outside looking in. As always, great show. It's been a while, but I always tune in when I can. Your pal, Jamie from Cole Harbour, Nova Scotia, home of Stanley Cup winner Nate McKinnon. Cheers. Isn't Sidney Crosby from Cole Harbour, too? Well, Nathan's got the cup, so that he's the hottest, sexiest thing there right now. What'd you think when you saw Chase Claypool go on NFL trade deadline the other day?
I thought it was, he's seems like a guy that could use a fresh start. I know that there was a lot of talk there with the Steelers, with their TikTok crew, with Juju and Claypool. They were doing a lot of stuff before the games I know a lot of Steelers fans weren't thrilled with. And, it looked like he could use a fresh start. They got a lot of young wide receivers there in Pittsburgh. And I know that he's not a super old receiver, but, he played university football in the area, only an hour and a half away at Notre Dame. And maybe this is a more familiar spot for him. Maybe he can have an opportunity to be a number one receiver, close to number one receiver. He's a big receiver. I think he's a guy that deserves a lot of targets, and hopefully he can have a long NFL career and, maybe really inspire the next generation here, Canadian football players to get going.
Oh, yeah. Well, I think it was Lee that pointed out a second-round pick in the NFL draft is significant. He was a second-round pick, but the Bears gave up a second-round pick. That's significant. Right?
For sure. I mean, anytime you give up a round 1, 2, 3, most of those guys come in and play the next season, if not start. And depending on the position, they could be one of the best players in the draft at that position. So, I mean, yeah, they went out there and went out and got Claypool and thought they could do something with him, and here we are. So we're going to see what they can do.
Clyde Carpenter says, greetings from Newfoundland. Stampeders over the Lions, Alouettes over the Ticats. Those are my picks, by the way. The home team wins in the East Final, the road team in the West. Eric Thomas, he's a Ticats fan. He says, BC and Calgary game is going to be a tough one to choose. Both great defenses. For sure, but I would think you got to like the fact it's indoors, John, this time of year. At BC Place.
I'm an offensive lineman.
Or you want to flip it the other way? You'd like to be outside?
I'm an offensive lineman that like to run the football. Give me bad weather. I loved it. Because bad weather to me meant
ground and pound.
Meant my position group was going to have a big, could have a big moment in the game, and I wanted that, on my position group's, shoulders, so to speak. It's the same way when I played in University of Nevada when it snowed and rained. I was like, good.
Listen, I get it, but from a fan perspective, I want to see the skill guys display their skill. You get that, and there's one about cold and that, but to be slipping all over the place. I hate that. You like it?
That's football. That's playoff football.
Now, that's what they say, but skill players don't agree. Receivers don't agree.
There's 46 guys in that locker room.
Yeah.
Right? It's not all quarterbacks, wide receivers.
Right?
There's a lot more going on there.
Trust me. You are preaching to the choir there, but when I went to South Florida for the first time and spent a lot of time there, all they want to talk about is the quarterbacks. Tua, Jalen Waddle, Tyreek Hill, and I'm sitting there going, there's 50 other guys. They don't care. You get that mentality.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, there's always going to be the star players, and they always get either too much credit when they lose or too much credit when they win. It's the same on both sides.
Absolutely. John Bender, let's do it again. Appreciate you.
All right, for sure. Thank you.
We'll be right back. Lee Genier sliding in next. Tom Cochrane coming up live in hour 2. It's the RP Show on Game Plus TV, YouTube Live, and on the Big Peach, WQEE 99.1 FM.
Have you subscribed to the Rod Pedersen Show YouTube channel yet? Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now.
casino. Regal Resort and Casino. Casino fancy.
Universal Collision Center is Saskatchewan's premier auto body shop. Our extensive process ensures that every vehicle that comes through our state-of-the-art facilities is returned pre-accident condition, and that every UCC customer experience is an easy one. We're certified to repair all makes, all models, and all luxury brands, and Universal Auto Spa offers full-service detailing packages to suit you and your vehicle. Plus, we're the official body shop of your Saskatchewan Rough Riders. Universal Collision Center, 3910 Rochdale Boulevard and 2355 First Avenue in Regina.
Lot of sun, smoky in the air, that's a lot of pine. Big time, big time, big time, big time.
Some of the challenges we face with the CT technology that we have today is some of the deficiencies in around integration with some of our other systems. The addition of 2 new 4D simulators within the programming, the Saskatchewan Cancer Agency is going to have significant impact on the care we provide to the people of Saskatchewan.
Easy snacking all around. Something everyone can love.
And that's a wrap on summer, everyone. Things are about to get back to busy. Work, school, errands, they're all coming back. That's why we make buying easy at Capital Ford Lincoln. We have a great selection of brand new F-150s in stock. Drive it off the lot today. Reserve an incoming unit or pre-order the perfect vehicle for you. And make some cold hard cash by selling us your used vehicle. We pay big and you can skip the hassle of selling privately. Plus, our service department is always here to help with any make or model. Capital Ford Lincoln, making back to busy easy.
Business owners and marketers. Okay, we know you think we're pretty cool. That's why we want you to share in the coolness factor. Partner with the Rod Pedersen Show and market your business every weekday to sports lovers just like yourself. Take advantage of our many cost-effective commercial and promotional opportunities. Tell the world about your business. Yes, the world. Thanks to Game Plus TV and the Rod Pedersen Digital Network. Contact us today and find out how you can be a part of Canada's fastest-growing sports talk show, The Rod Pedersen Show.
All right, here we are. It is the RP show. This is Viewer Takeover. And Lee Genier has joined us here at the Stage Bar at Great Eagle Resort and Casino, our COO. How you doing, Lee?
I am fantastic. Friday.
Yeah, you are not like my brother Leroy. You are straight Lee.
Just Lee.
It's French.
French Lee.
A lot of questions came in there for John Bender. I didn't get to all of them, and I apologize for those that I didn't. We'll have to bring him back. Ted in Red Deer says, John Bender, what a great guest. It's the first time I've listened to him. Awesome. From producer Clark, great to hear from John Bender. Thank you, Clark, for lining it up. Clark is home sick today, but I appreciate him checking in on the show. Johnny will be back. He's a good guy. He has a very big show feel about him, doesn't he?
Oh, yeah. He's great.
Pro wrestler feel about him.
Pro wrestler.
Terry Livermore in Calgary writes it. He says, I chatted with Lee at the Grey Eagle while you were on the air yesterday, RP. He's a great source of sports knowledge. Thanks, Lee. Lee's a great BSer. How about that?
It's what 30 years in pro sports will get you.
Yes. Same here, dude. And one more from my cousin Christine in Medicine Hat. She says, this live chat makes this show my favorite. plus Rod. And she has to say that. She's my cousin. But start spreading the news. We're live on YouTube. Let's go. Tell all your friends, as well as television across Canada. Tell us, Rogers, SaskTel, Bell MTS, Eastlink, and across the United States. Kevin the Medium writes in, he says, sports keeps me sane. And trust me, that's not an easy challenge. It's a great diversion. I think what people forget, Lee, you just mentioned 30 years in pro sports. Same here. It is our career. Like, it's everybody else's leisure, but it's our life for the longest time.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you know, one day we will just have to just go dig deep into some of those crazy stories, you know, that you have, me running so many different teams, the different championships. Like, man, there is a lot of stories there.
Hey,
a lot of stories.
Pick a day, and we'll do it. Arlen Bruce III chimes in. He says, Grey Cup 111 in Vancouver 2024. That was announced yesterday. I want to go way back here to a comment from Ryan in northern Manitoba. It was about the NFL. Oh, shoot. Where the heck is it? I'm sorry, Ron. He talked about, are the New York Giants for real? Talked about the week 9 games in the National Football League, and I can't find it now. What will be your sports menu? Yourself, Lee, because everybody's is different, I found, and that's what makes it fun.
Well, this weekend, you know what? We've got some great hockey. Got the Devils coming to town tomorrow night, playing the Flames.
Yeah.
I might go to that game. I'm going to obviously watch a lot of NFL on the weekend, and obviously there could be a deciding game in the World Series. So I'm going to pick up that as well. So, hey, man, there's a lot on tap, a lot of college game, you know, football on Saturday, as you know. So a full slate of unbelievable sports. So
I don't know why I can't find this comment from Ryan in northern Manitoba, the voice of the OCN Blizzard, and maybe he must have rescinded it. So, yeah, Robin in Prince Albert says, I can't wait for the new Netflix series. I'm not sure what he's referring to. I missed something there. But he says, welcome to Ottawa, featuring Ryan Reynolds, the rise of the Senators in the NHL. For our American viewers, Ryan Reynolds, everybody knows him, movie star. Deadpool, that was his big one.
Oh, yeah.
Lots of movies, right?
A lot of them. But
he has now come out, and I'll get to the Jets-Habs game. I'll get to that. But this is national news. This is on Sports Center, which is my news, that Ryan Reynolds is going to buy the Ottawa Senators. And I think he doesn't have $700 million.
Well, you know, I'd have to disagree.
Do you think he's got that much cake?
He sold Aviation Gin for $850 million. So I think he does have, you know, somebody on SportsCenter last night, I think it was Gino Reda, said that he was worth $150 million. I'm going, no, he is worth way more than $150 million. So
good for him.
Yeah.
He's very funny, very talented, and very proud Canadian. And he owns a soccer team, doesn't he?
Wrexham.
Last minute of play in hour 1. I don't know.
Yeah, he owns Wrexham. So, yeah, like, I mean, I think there is a lot of validity to it. I'm sure there'd be a group of guys, right? Because generally you always got a big-time backer, and they always just want a face of a celebrity.
Yeah,
so.
Ryan in New York says, Ryan Reynolds of 2 guys, a girl, and a pizza shop fame. Was that his first show? Because I remember that show, and that was a good one. Jack in Alberta says, Rod, how about them Cowboys? They do have a bye this week, but we can talk about all the NFL games coming up. I know that it's week 10 in college, and I believe the NFL is 1 week behind. Is it week 9 in the NFL?
Week 9.
Yet all these leagues are going on right now. It's so much to stay on top of. We'll talk about the Jets and the Habs and more, and Tom Cochrane coming up in hour 2 right here.
Have you subscribed to the Rod Pedersen Show YouTube channel yet? Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now.
And that's a wrap on summer, everyone. Things are about to get back to busy. Work, school, errands, they're all coming back. That's why we make buying easy at Capital GMC. Reserve your brand new truck or SUV today. Check out our great selection of in-stock GM certified pre-owned trucks. And make some cold hard cash by selling us your used vehicle. We pay big and you can skip the hassle of selling privately. Plus, our service department is always here to help with any make or model. Capital GMC, making back to busy easy.
Nestled in the scenic Qu'Appelle Valley, just 20 minutes northwest of Regina, is one of the finest golf courses in all of Saskatchewan, the Deer Valley Golf Club. The clubhouse has a full-service restaurant, and customers can enjoy a casual dining experience with spectacular views of the golf course and valley. A fully stocked golf shop, staffed by PGA of Canada professionals, is equipped to meet all of your golf apparel and equipment needs. Book your tee time, family event, or corporate tournament today at the Deer Valley Golf Club. Call 306-731-1445.
Some of the challenges we face with the CT technology that we have today is some of the deficiencies in around integration with some of our other systems. The addition of 2 new 4D simulators within the programming, the Saskatchewan Cancer Agency is going to have significant impact on the care we provide to the people of Saskatchewan.
Does this look familiar? Your fans deserve an incredible arena experience. It's time for an upgrade. Stunning graphics. Revenue opportunities are just the beginning with our in-venue display systems and scoring technology. Let us help you find the best solution for your facility. EDG, always delivering the best fan experience.
I gotta hit the beat.
Download Dark Horse Bets today.
I gotta hit the beat.
Text 902-518-3033. 902-518-3033. Pick up your phone and text RP, that's Rog Pedersen. Text 902-518-3033.
Montreal is favored by 3 at home over the Hamilton Tiger Cats in the Eastern semifinal. Deal or no deal?
No deal. I picked Hamilton to win the game outright, and I think they will. They're hot, and I think they're headed to the Grey Cup.
The BC Lions are favored by 2.5 at home over the Calgary Stampeders in the Western semifinal. Deal or no deal?
You know what? I'm going to take the deal. It's Amar Doman. He's got me pumped.
This is the Rod Pedersen Show.
All right, welcome to the RP Show, everybody. It's hour 2. We're coming in hot. It's a show we affectionately call Football Friday. Coming to you from Grey Eagle Resort and Casino, Calgary's entertainment destination, and we love it here. I think it is our 20th week. I think 20th week here in this 2022 calendar year, and we love it as we bring in our COO, Lee Genier. So far on this Football Friday, we've been talking National Football League, NCAA Football Week 10, college football, yes, Canadian Football League, and some NHL's been sprinkled in as well. I have to say this, 2 NHL notes. We're trying to keep it to football today, but it is a Canadian-based show for the moment, for at least a few more weeks. So hockey's got to be number 1. And Tom Cochrane will be joining us later. People are starting to congregate here, and you see that?
Oh, yeah.
In the front of the stage to get a look at the rock icon, Tom Cochrane. My phone's been blowing up for 48 hours since we announced Tom Cochrane's going to be on the show with personal messages and greetings and stories. And I'm like, well, come on down to the Grey Eagle. Buy a ticket. Go to the show. There are just a few left for tonight at the event center. So there's people asking about the Winnipeg Jets and the Montreal Canadiens, and also Ryan Reynolds potentially buying the Ottawa Senators. So just pump the brakes. My take on the Jets Habs is this. Enjoy the hockey while you can in all these markets. People are writing me saying, do you think the New Jersey Devils are for real? I'm like, I don't know. Ask Stuart Skinner. Yeah, it's the first time we had a chance to really watch them. in Edmonton last night, and they pantsed the Oilers. They're going to be here in Calgary tomorrow night, and I think I'm going to go to that game because it's the last of the Flames homestand. But just enjoy the hockey. The Jets are a good team. You can say what you want about Paul Maurice if you want, but his Panthers pulled off a big comeback win in San Jose last night. So just enjoy the hockey day by day. It is what it is. A guy was sitting in front of me last night, Lee, at the Saddle Dome, about my age, and 2 little girls with him, and they're eating popcorn. They had their hair in pigtails. They're not even watching the game, which is fine. But I'm like, why wouldn't you go to a Wranglers game or a Hitman game or a Pats or a Wheat Kings? It's way cheaper. But it's the aura of the National Hockey League. So he's bringing his little girls up as Flames fans. It's cool, but hella expensive.
Expensive night. So.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he's got the cheese to do it.
Hey, did I not see on social media you were hanging out with Brett Wilson?
Oh, yes. Yes, I was. And I went up to him. He is a part owner of the Nashville Predators, oil and gas magnate, and friend of yours, right? You're kind of teeing me up on that. You act like you know him pretty well, don't you?
Sure.
Yeah. You guys have been in the city together a long time. Star of the Dragon's Den, and for our U.S. viewers, that's like Shark Tank, what you have on ABC. They got Dragon's Den up here. And he's from Saskatchewan. I'm from Saskatchewan. We connected. We bonded. And then it triggered a whole lot of people that we were hanging out. And I don't understand that. If you were that easily triggered, you got to look in the mirror and say, what's wrong with you? That seeing 2 guys hang out that are from the same place that are friends trigger you. What's wrong with people when that happens?
Oh, people love to, they get on. And he's pretty vocal on social media. He's an oil and gas guy. And, you got people going in every which direction. So, hey, bring it on.
Yes. Yeah. Now, our poll question, let's get to that for Capital Auto Mall, Universal Collision Center. Capital has dealerships all across the Canadian prairies and the state of California. Who will win this weekend's Canadian Football League semifinals? The home teams are favored. Hamilton at Montreal in the Eastern semifinal, Calgary Stampeders at BC Lions in the West. And I've voted for Montreal and Calgary to win. I'm not sure who's leading on the poll, but that's on Twitter and Facebook, or Twitter and YouTube. You can vote there. Who did you pick as winners?
I picked Hamilton and BC. So.
Okay. Fair. So vote on that just for fun's sake on a very busy sports weekend. This is the time of show getting into hour 2 where I kind of lose track. There's so much going on. We've talked about so much. But we sit here right now, and I'm ashamed at the amount of time we've spent on this and have had to spend on this, that the Canadian Football League has yet to announce the halftime performer for their championship. Today's the 4th. The game is in 16 days.
Yeah, and if it hasn't been announced yet today, I mean, it's 1 o'clock Eastern. I highly doubt it's going to be announced today. So that puts them in the next week. So maybe the whole thing that they're not announcing is their way of building excitement. So,
well, you're pretty good at that. You're pretty good at building excitement. Is this how you would do it?
Well, it wouldn't be necessarily the way I do it, but you know what? It has more people talking about the CFL than I've seen in a long time because they haven't announced it. So maybe it is that reverse psychology saying, hey, let's wait until the last possible moment. And, everybody's been throwing everything out from Anne Murray to the Sheepdogs to Luke Combs to Brett Kissel. So, hey, let's see what they come up with. Bet Regal should have a hell of a line on this. And, hey, we'll see what happens, right?
I got a big money guy who's writing me right now from the U.S. South. That's all I'll say. With regards to the rumor of Ryan Reynolds buying the Ottawa Senators, to paraphrase, he's saying they want one guy. The NHL and all these leagues would prefer one guy, not a piecemealed together ownership group. And I could see that, can't you?
Well, I mean, you know what? As long as you have one voice, I mean, there's a lot of groups that own teams now. I mean, when you start to look at the price of teams, there's always generally a group in there, right? Ryan Reynolds is part ownership of Wrexham. You look at a lot. Lewis Hamilton is part owner of the Denver Broncos. So you really, Steve Nash is part owner of the Whitecaps and a couple of teams, football teams, soccer teams in Europe as well. So, I mean, hey, it just brings a lot of celebrity status to it. So, Sure, it's nice to have one voice, but, to be realistic, you look at some of the prices, and I think I sent you yesterday the valuations of some of. So what is the Ottawa Senators worth? Is it $565 million? I think I sent you. On Sportsnet, they reported it's worth $1 billion. So I don't know what the selling price would be. I guess it's whoever,
It's whatever somebody's willing to pay. What did the Los Angeles Clippers go for to Steve Ballmer?
Yeah. I think
$2 billion?
$2 billion, yeah.
Yeah, so it's whatever somebody's willing to pay. So we sit here and we wait to see who the Grey Cup halftime act will be. I was saying an hour ago that I had a real universe karma feeling from the moment I woke up today. I had a text message from Cody Fajardo, who, by the way, said he's looking forward to coming on this show next. He is the probably exiled quarterback of the CFL Saskatchewan Roughriders, formerly of the Oakland Raiders for a time and the Nevada Wolfpack. And then we had his former Nevada teammate on here, John Bender. It's just wild how things are coming together and everybody is getting along great. Kumbaya, my lord. Tom Cochrane coming up in hour 2, by the way. But we looked at last night's sports. Let's look at today's. We got an NHL game facing off right now in Finland. Columbus versus Colorado. How are you about North American leagues playing in Europe? You must be all about that.
Yeah, I mean, you know what? It builds some excitement because it's in Europe, and you're going to have a lot of people. Like the viewership for these games are actually going to be pretty big because it's the only thing happening during the day. It's a Friday morning game, Friday afternoon game, depending where you're at. So it's going to be big. Yeah, people love them. It's like the NFL in going to England. The viewership for those games are through the roof.
Yes, you get the NFL playing over there, the NHL playing over there. It's just how Lee got me onto when he was the president of the Rush National Lacrosse League team. He's like, come on up and give us a try. Because you knew it was a good product.
I did.
Yeah, and I went up there and I was hooked. And that's what the NHL and NFL are doing over there in Europe. I love it. Also, the only other game tonight is Buffalo at Carolina in the National Hockey League. And I'll get to some of these other sports games tonight in a moment, but regarding that halftime act, I mean, come on, CFL, come on. We love them, but come on. It's like Kevin, the medium, my good friend, writes in, he says, the Grey Cup 109 committee, that's this year's, are the most brilliant or the most incompetent ever. I want them to explain why they waited. I want to believe they did this on purpose. But, ... It's become a major thing.
A major thing, yeah. Well, that's where they go, the reverse psychology. Let's not announce it.
Why would you open yourself up to such ridicule and scorn?
Well, they haven't had the best week with the all-star tabulations and this. I think it's just, it's a bad look for them, whatever way you want to cut it. I don't think they're in a position where they should be adding to that. It's just a bad look.
We've spent a lot of time, by the way, last hour examining this weekend's semifinals, so we're going to move on a little bit here. It's 11:11 Mountain, as pointed out by my cousin Christine in Medicine Hat. So we're definitely on the right track. Looking ahead to tonight's games. In the NBA, the Raptors continue their Texas road trip. They're at Dallas. They spanked the Spurs by 43 points the other night. You worked in pro basketball. That is like a massive beatdown.
Man, it is.
I don't know what the NBA record for a beatdown is, but 43 points? Are you kidding?
That's pretty significant. It's a big run. I mean, you're letting guys run all over you at that point. Like the offense is just having its way with the other team.
Yeah. College football tonight. Duke at Boston College. UMass at UConn. That's Connecticut, not the Canadian territory. UMass at UConn. And Oregon State at Washington. Just 3 games tonight on college football. I'll be honest, I am really getting excited. I mentioned at the Saddle Dome the other night, the media was saying, when are you going back to Florida? Are you excited to go back to Florida? What's going on in Florida? And I said, high school football playoffs, big into, got some buddies coaching there, and college football bowl season. You been to a bowl game?
I've been to a lot of college games, just never to a bowl game.
It's another level.
Yeah.
And our U.S. viewers would understand that. Some of the big college games this weekend, Georgia home to Tennessee, Bulldogs favored by 8. Alabama taking on LSU, the Tide favored by 13.5. Clemson at Notre Dame, Clemson favored by 3.5. It is a time of year that should belong to football. Do you feel that it does? And the States all year does.
It is for sure. Like, I mean, you've got some, it's I'm going to say a little bit of an off year for the NFL. So I think college ball right now is actually a little bigger. It feels
like they're not pulling away necessarily, but I'm with you. Why do you think that is?
Hey, last year, NFL, great, right? Some big prime time games. And then this year, it's just college, and I think people really can gravitate to their college teams for so many reasons, right? And then the energy around it as well. There seems to be less politics around the college game as there is in the NFL, so people are just in there just to enjoy it. So, hey, I love it as well.
Well, it's a question that I get, and by the way, Tom Cochran coming up here in the next segment, I get it a lot. For people that don't understand, and I don't necessarily know the question because I haven't been in the States for a long time, and maybe our U.S. viewers right now, you can follow us on Twitter, @RodPedersen, @Genier. You answer me this. Why is college football so massive? And we're talking about not just TV ratings, but the attendance. 100,000 showing up in Knoxville, Tennessee, at Notre Dame games. You name it, any one of those stadiums, the Big House in Michigan. And I've put that to some football people, and they say, because it's their NFL in Clemson, in Auburn, in Tuscaloosa. Would that be the best answer for it?
It is. There's only so many games down there, right? So, all week, and traditionally Saturday, everybody is traveling. It is, like I say, you're 100,000 people, right? Generally, there's only 2 stadiums in the U.S. where you can buy booze actually in the stadium. So everybody's tailgating for 2 days before.
Well, one of them might be Howard Schnellenberger Stadium in Boca Raton, Florida, because I was at the games this year for the FAU Owls, and they were selling beer, and I wasn't buying it. But there was an hour-and-a-half weather delay. I don't know how we are about this period of time and safety, COVID aside. We're sitting there, hour-and-a-half delay for FAU. Can't remember who they were playing. I'm like, there's not even a cloud in the sky. And they're delaying the game because of the potential of the weather system in the area. In the 90s, we're playing.
Hey, man.
If lightning hits a light standard, that sucks to be you.
I had to stand out in the parking lot with a metal rod just to
see if it was alive. You're Doc from Back to the Future.
I've only been hit by lightning 11 times.
Darren in Salt Lake City, rallying to the cry, says tradition, pageantry, and huge alumni bases. From Don Mitchell, our Navy friend, the alumni culture in the U.S. is incredibly strong down there. From Sandusky, Ohio, bro, that's one of the accounts watching. He says, the Ohio State University. And let's talk about the Horseshoe. It is the largest stadium, is it not, in the United States? 110,000?
110,000.
In Columbus, Ohio?
Yep.
And that's why I don't want to sit here and kick any more sand in the face of the Canadian Football League. However, we had pageantry, tradition, and we'll see what happens this weekend with the games and the attendance, because as I often say, this is where the Canadian Football League shines, playoffs and the Grey Cup. Eric Thomas, Ticats fan watching, he says, college football is culture. And I'm really loving sticking my toe into it, but it's like putting your toe in the undercurrent of the ocean. You get sucked down fast in a good way. The second they realize you want to talk about college football down there, you're good. Away they go like a team of horses. We're going to take a break. It's hour 2 of a Football Friday, talking a lot of football here today, and we anticipate Tom Cochran, the rock legend, will be joining us live at Grey Eagle Resort and Casino. We'll be right back on Game Plus Television, YouTube Live, and WQEE 99.1 FM.
Have you subscribed to the Rod Pedersen Show YouTube channel yet? Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now.
Is it time to take your event online? Bring it to IKS Live. We've got a fully customized virtual event platform with remote guest support for your next fundraiser, talk show, conference, performance, and more. IKS Live offers live streaming to Facebook Live and YouTube and pre-recorded capabilities, both in our studio with green screen available and on location with pre-production and post-production services. Visit us at ikslive.ca.
Universal Collision Center is Saskatchewan's premier auto body shop. Our extensive process ensures that every vehicle that comes through our state-of-the-art facilities is returned pre-accident condition, and that every UCC customer experience is an easy one. We're certified to repair all makes, all models, and all luxury brands, and Universal Auto Spa offers full-service detailing packages to suit you and your vehicle. Plus, we're the official body shop of your Saskatchewan Rough Riders. Universal Collision Center, 3910 Rochdale Boulevard and 2355 First Avenue in Regina.
Smoky in the air, that's a lot of time. Big time, big time, big time, big time. Big time. Grey Eagle Resort and Casino.
And that's a wrap on summer, everyone. Things are about to get back to busy. Work, school, errands, they're all coming back. That's why we make buying easy at Capital Ford Lincoln. We have a great selection of brand new F-150s in stock. Drive it off the lot today. Reserve an incoming unit or pre-order the perfect vehicle for you. And make some cold hard cash by selling us your used vehicle. We pay big and you can skip the hassle of selling privately. Plus, our service department is always here to help with any make or model. Capital Ford Lincoln, making back to busy easy.
Easy snacking all around. Something everyone can love.
Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. Experts in all residential and commercial plumbing services and proudly serving Regina and area since 1978. Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. We'll treat you right.
Here's how your business can be a part of Canada's fastest growing sports talk show. All you have to do is contact us, and we will tell you all about the dynamic and exciting marketing opportunities we have, utilizing a fully integrated 360-degree multi-platform. Imagine your business seen and heard across Canada on Game Plus TV and around the world on the Rod Pedersen Digital Network. You will use one of the most overused expressions in sports. You gotta be kidding me. Get your business involved. Contact the Rod Pedersen Show today.
It is the RP Show. How about that? We're live from Grey Eagle Resort and Casino. That spot on the right side of your screen, if you're watching on television, is the place to be tonight for the Tom Cochrane Tour kickoff concert here. There are still a few tickets available, but you can enter now by texting tickets to 902-518-3033. It would help to be in the Calgary area, and you can be headed to the concert tonight. We're going to randomly pick a winner, and the winner will be notified after the show, right after the show, so you can make your plans. And I've been informed by the Grey Eagle staff that Tom Cochrane is a little delayed, 10 minutes behind, but he will be here potentially in this segment, and we'll have a live handoff between he and our COO, Lee Genier. And just before we bring Lee back in, a sports update on this Friday. The NHL's Ottawa Senators are on the market. The board of directors of Sen Sports and Entertainment says a process has been initiated for the sale of the group. The team must remain in Ottawa as a condition of the sale. Sens owner Eugene Melnick died on March 28th, 62, after battling illness. The Toronto Raptors finish off a 2-game Texas road swing. As we said tonight, they visit the Dallas Mavericks, Raps 5-3, following that beatdown of the Spurs in San Antonio the other night. And it's a travel day for the Astros and Phillies in the World Series. It resumes Saturday at Minute Maid Park in Houston. The Astros can wrap it up with a home win. This sports update is brought to you by Ballers Rec Room, which, by the way, Ballers Rec Room in Twisted Tea is hosting the biggest and best party during Grey Cup week, featuring players in the Grey Cup, Friday, November 18th. Get your tickets today at eventbrite.com. Breaking news, joining us will be CFL great Charleston Hughes and Major League Baseball World Series champion Greg Zahn. Again, eventbrite.com. Look up Ballers Rec Room. All right, Lee Genier's here, and I never really know. I guess the viewers are interested in what we like to talk about, and that's our listeners in Atlanta as well. I guess they're interested in what we're interested in, and this Senators ownership is the thing, and the Washington Commanders has more interest than I would have thought, Lee. Because I thought they only cared about what goes on the field, you know?
No, I mean, you know what? You look at it, you know, now the team is for sale. So, you know, we've been following a few weeks ago. Dupes and I spent an entire show just talking about the Washington Commanders and what, you know, dirt, you know, Dan Snyder has on all these owners, and he's got it on the commissioner. So somebody blinked, right? And so now the DOJ down there is apparently saying that Dan Snyder is being investigated for financial impropriety. So, hey, you know what? Somebody blinked. Somebody played the wrong hand. And now it's leading to the sale of the Commanders. So that's it.
That's all that it takes? That seems like they would have done that a long time ago if they really wanted him out of the NFL, though, is my question on that. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I think things have come to a head, right? You know, is when he's coming out and talking personally, saying he's got dirt on all these owners, you know, that's when it's getting ugly. So, you know what? There's a lot of powerful guys down there, as you know, and nobody wants the NFL has been through enough. I don't think they want another black eye. So they probably said, hey, man, we're not going to do this. This is what's going to happen. Now the DOJ is involved amidst all these other accusations of people have against Dan Snyder. So it's not a good spot for him. It's not a good spot for the NFL. So they're saying, hey, let's get you out.
Despite all the foibles and the squabbles and problems the NFL's had, they still continue to grow, ratings-wise, revenue-wise. So I do think there's a lot of an attitude there that we're bigger than anything. It's proven that they are. Regarding college football versus NFL, and for that matter, CFL, Reg Dunlop watching, I don't think that's his real name, but he says people's loyalty to their college is bigger than for an NFL team. And that's probably true, but you and I both went to the same college. And that we're probably at fault as anybody. We're not flag-waving Mount Royal University guys. I'm sorry.
There's no football team.
You know what I'm saying. I went to Mount Royal Hockey last year because the U of R Cougars were in town as the visiting team. So it's not a thing in Canada.
No,
it's just not.
It's the U.S. thing. And, you know, you hit it right. Like, you will carry that badge of honor till the day you die, and people will their tickets to their kids. And, you know, again, going back to why these games are so huge, right? So, and it's the purity of it as well, right? The players don't get paid, so they're playing for what's next. Well, look at some of the plays down there.
That's
fantastic.
Changing. Name, image, likeness. That's changed. Tom Cochrane will be with us potentially in this segment. We got a word from the folks at Grey Eagle Event Center that he is running about 10 minutes late, the rock legend. And the thing is, I was saying earlier that people were blowing up my phone with, can you get a message to Tom about this? Can you ask him about that? And it's, I'll do what I can. Let's put it that way. Better yet, buy a ticket and come to the concert tonight. I've seen him before. And I don't know how many concerts this gentleman may have put on, Lee. I don't.
A lot.
But his throat was shot. It was in the show lounge at Casino Regina. And that would suck. Ian Tyson, same thing. I mean, the show must go on, right?
Yeah.
But we know he's 100% for tonight.
Are you and I going to rock out?
Yeah.
Tonight?
After I get back from the Seven Chiefs Arena and watching the Calgary Hitmen take on the Medicine Hat Tigers, I'll be going to that game. There is a lot going on in this town. Always. You never told me that.
Oh, man. Well, everything, you look at what's going on. You've got the Wranglers moving here now. You've got a lot of, life's opening back up, right? So, or it has opened back up. So there's so much going on.
Well,
every night, concerts. You can find something to do in this city every night of the week.
Yeah, well, the sense that I'm told and I'm seeing is that, people want to get out of the house and they want to go to things. But this takes me back to college football games. Like that walk-off win for Tennessee over Alabama a couple weeks ago. People still talking about that on both sides of the border. Went off on the top of the, as you saw, they took down the uprights and went and threw them in the river.
Carried them away.
Yeah, but for the sake of our U.S. listeners and viewers, you have to understand what it was like in Canada for a long time, like 2 years. Some guy said to me recently, I talked to so many people, I can't remember. You think I would write it down. But he goes, it sucks so bad watching TV. I'm at home wearing a mask and I can't leave, and I'm watching 100,000 people at a college football game in the States.
Doesn't make any sense.
What's going on?
Yeah.
So fortunately, I think we're out of that. Oh, here we go. Ryan O'Radio, my spirit brother from WQEE 99.1, The Key, down in Metro Atlanta. He's written in and he says, rock stars are not late. They are always on rock star time. LOL, which is on time. See, that's why I've never really been the biggest music guy. Now, I used to be a DJ, play a couple of instruments, but music wasn't necessarily ever really my thing. I mean, most concerts you go to do start on time.
Well, I don't know about that.
Well,
I've been to so many, and I've been to a lot, and they always started late.
Well, I remember going to Sir Paul McCartney at Taylor Field not that long ago, within the last 10 years. He was like over an hour late. And I was thinking, he's old. Why is he late? And then I realized they couldn't get everybody into the stadium, so he was gracious enough to delay the start time of the concert. I thought that was pretty cool.
Hey, what's your all-time favorite?
George Strait. Stop.
Yeah.
You have to ask. The king of country music. Yours?
I've got two. One with the Stones. I sat row one for the Stones.
I saw them.
And another one, I was in Vegas, and the Violent Femmes, if you remember the Violent Femmes.
Yes.
It was at the pool deck at the Palms. There was about 500 people, and it was this intimate, hey, the Violent Femmes.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's watching or listening right now, television, radio, or streaming, right in with the greatest concert you ever attended. I was on stage for George Strait 2010 Craven Country Jamboree. On stage, dude.
Well, that trumps me.
The Craven people made it a special effort. They knew that he was my guy. I've been in his fan club since I was 10. And I've seen him 3 times, but once in Dallas, Craven, and then in Regina. Do you remember they used to do 2 shows, Lee? Are you old enough to remember? They used to do 2 shows, and George Strait in 1986 couldn't sell out both shows, so they combined them into 1.
Well,
can you believe that?
Yeah,
Did that ever happen?
Well, I remember, being in SaskTel Center and Garth Brooks. I was in the room with the management of SaskTel Center. And they sold 90,000 tickets in just over an hour. Garth Brooks was on the phone, and because that's a rocket up there, and so they actually had to turn the building over. They had 9 shows in 6 days, which was amazing.
Wow.
So
right. Well, here's the difference between sports and entertainment. Like when I never forget, whether it be a Rough Riders training camp, the pro football team I was the voice of for 20 years, or we would have these camps down in Florida. If I showed up 5-10 minutes late, I won't say who the GM was. You could guess if you wanted to. He'd look at me, look at his watch, and then look at me. You know what I mean? And of course, I would yell at him, I don't work for you. And you wonder why we don't speak anymore. But you know what I'm saying? That's sports.
It is sports. But I used to always have a rule: if you were late, you had to bring me a coffee.
Is that right? That was your rule? From Kevin the Medium, he says, Summer Sunday at the old Empire Stadium. Hart headlined it. LRB? Who's that?
Little River Band.
Okay. Have you heard about the Lonesome Loser? Okay, I get it. I'm sorry, I didn't know the abbreviations. I love GS. How about that? George Strait. My cousin Christine says Supertramp at the Center of the Arts. Randy from Winnipeg says Pink Floyd in old Winnipeg Stadium. Craig in Calgary says on the field in Seattle for U2. That would be pretty cool. Jennifer from the Four Seasons says best concert, Metallica with Godsmack. Yeah, not my thing, but that's okay. We can all get along. I'm a country guy. Reg Dunlop says the Foo Fighters, September 2002 in Minneapolis. I like to get people thinking, right, on what's the best show you ever saw.
Yeah, there's so many.
Yeah.
Like so many.
And
U2, a couple of great U2 concerts I've been to.
Here you go. John Ohm says Red Rider at the Center of the Arts in the 90s was a great show. Thanks, Tom. From Jeff the Stamps fan, he writes in and says, is Tom Cochrane really coming, Rod? Well, the CFL said he is. John joking. Where's the drum beat on that?
Tom, if you're in the house, report to the stage bar.
Well, let's take a time out and come back and we'll see. Nothing here? Nothing yet. We'll be back in a moment. It is the RP show, and we're on Game Plus Television, YouTube Live, and WQEE 99.1 FM.
Have you subscribed to the Rod Pedersen Show YouTube channel yet? Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now.
Nestled in the scenic Qu'Appelle Valley, just 20 minutes northwest of Regina, is one of the finest golf courses in all of Saskatchewan, the Deer Valley Golf Club. The clubhouse has a full-service restaurant, and customers can enjoy a casual dining experience with spectacular views of the golf course and valley. A fully stocked golf shop, staffed by PGA of Canada professionals, is equipped to meet all of your golf apparel and equipment needs. Book your tee time, family event, or corporate tournament today at the Deer Valley Golf Club. Call 306-731-1445.
I gotta hit the beat. Gotta hit the beat. Gotta hit the
Download Dark Horse Bets today.
I gotta hit the beat.
Golf, Hawaii, and the Four Seasons. Imagine picking up your clubs and feeling like a pro for one whole week in paradise. Well, you can get that chance this December with 5-star accommodations, a 3-day tournament at a championship course, and loads of VIP experiences. The Pro Leisure Golf Tour is going to make you feel like a pro, even if your golf game doesn't. So whether you're looking to grab your golfing buddies for a tropical getaway or just wanting to find an exclusive VIP experience to take part in, the PLGT is perfect for you.
Easy snacking all around. Something everyone can love.
Universal Collision Center is Saskatchewan's premier auto body shop. Our extensive process ensures that every vehicle that comes through our state-of-the-art facilities is returned pre-accident condition, and that every UCC customer experience is an easy one. We're certified to repair all makes, all models, and all luxury brands, and Universal Auto Spa offers full-service detailing packages to suit you and your vehicle. Plus, we're the official body shop of your Saskatchewan Rough Riders. Universal Collision Center, 3910 Rochdale Boulevard and 2355 First Avenue in Regina.
People donate blood for moments like this.
But there are lots of reasons why Canada's Lifeline needs donors every day.
Like the fact that someone with leukemia can need up to 8 units of blood a week.
Or that donated blood lasts no longer than 42 days.
Or to help new moms and babies, like Henry.
There's lots of reasons to donate blood. That's why we need donors every day.
The need for blood is constant. Join Toyota and our Toyota dealers in supporting Canada's Lifeline.
Text 902-518-3033. 902-518-3033. Pick up your phone and text RP, that's Rog Pedersen. Text 902-518-3033.
Flying now, and I said, here we go. All right, we're back live. Grey Eagle Resort and Casino. The event center is the place to be tonight. Tom Cochrane performing, kicking off an Alberta weekend. And yes, ladies and gentlemen, we do have the rock legend with us here at the Stage Bar, Grey Eagle. Tom, thanks for showing up, man. Good to see you.
Good to see you too, man.
How's your day going on game day?
The day's good. Game day is busy, as we were talking about off air. I've been driving across the country, and everybody should do that a few times. I've done it hundreds of times, but only a handful of times on my own. And it's been quite the experience.
Harrowing sounds.
Well, we ran into a bit of snow west of Swift Current, like we were talking about. And so, but it's been, I just love this country, and I love driving across it. It's one of the great blessings of what I do, is I get to see the country a lot and get to know the people from one end, from Newfoundland all the way out to Vancouver Island. Of course, to me, I'm a prairie boy, and Alberta's been my, feels like my de facto home.
Yeah, me too.
The gal I'm with now is Albertan, and it's been so supportive of me and the band over the years, Red Rider.
Can I ask you, though, about your U.S. imprint? Because we're on the radio in Atlanta, and the guy running the ship down there, Ryan, wrote, he goes, Tom's not late. He's on rock star time. They're all aware of you down there, too. How many shows you done down there over the decades?
Hundreds? Thousands, yeah.
Thousands?
I mean, but America, let's be candid here. I'm semi-retired, or maybe.
Yeah, sounds like it's 17 shows in 20 days.
We're going to do 45 shows before the end of the year from April, from when things open up. But I really don't, the last shows I did there, we did New York, Boston, Chicago, the wineries, and they're great little venues, they're great little theaters. New York Winery, Boston, and Chicago, and they're all affiliated, and I think they've opened up a bunch more. But I really don't need to go down there these days. I mean, obviously I got a ton of radio support, and hi to my friends in Atlanta, and because you guys helped Lunatic Fringe break. It was one of the breakout markets for Fringe back with Red Rider, and so I get enough up here, Yep. We'll go down, we'll do the occasional gig, usually closer to the border, upstate New York, and then maybe north part of Washington and all that. But this is enough. And coming out of COVID, I had some obligations prior to COVID that we had to carry on with, and so we added those to a bunch more shows. So probably next year I'll maybe do 30 through the whole year.
Right.
Corporates included. So, I mean, that's enough for me. I enjoy still writing, and, I got some songs that I got to get off my chest, and we're going to release Neruda Plus next year on vinyl. So we'll probably tour that and play majority of the songs off Neruda, plus obviously add, there's going to be some live stuff. There's live from the Trocadero in Philadelphia and things like that off on the record. And that'll be on the vinyl, but we'll also add a couple of supplementary new tracks to the vinyl. So I think people enjoy that, and I'm definitely looking forward to that, because Neruda is a favorite record I ever made, in terms of as a writer, as a body of work. So I love that record.
But I got to ask you about, obviously, Mad World. And Tom, I'm a huge Letterman fan. So I got to ask if, the greatest day of your life, it felt like it was for me, was Letterman coming out to the front of the stage and opening his monologue with, you know what I'm just going to say. Life is a highway. Yeah. I want to ride it all night. I was like, my jaw was on the floor. What did that do for your career? Or had you had huge moments before that?
I had huge moments. I mean, that and Jay Leno. I mean, I've been on Jay Leno 3 times. And
Your song was number one in the world at the time. Like, what did that feel like?
Yeah, it was incredible. I mean, the song is a tour de force. They just got this Cultural Impact Award from SOCAN, who are the people that collect our money for us as artists, because of the impact that Life's a Highway's had. So it's almost it's a song that, people come up to me and say, are you pissed off Rascal Flatts stole the song from me? I say, I wish they'd steal some more. I love those guys. And they help put a lot of tanks of gas in the tour bus.
Right.
So it's and pay for a house in Austin and stuff like that. So, I mean, I've been very blessed and very lucky, and that song is a song that keeps giving, and it makes people happy. We bring a lot of joy through our shows. Mm-hmm. So that song alone is to me, that song that just lights everybody up. And the energy you get back from the audience is phenomenal. So it's just a real pleasure to be the excuse the pun, the vehicles to deliver that message and that positive
conduit,
energy.
Same word, yeah. And it's funny because my phone's been blowing up, Tom, since the viewers saw you were coming on, and Rich Sutter called me, and he goes, you gotta ask Tom if he remembers playing on a balcony in Kelowna at Bob Bourne's golf tournament.
Yeah, I sure do.
Big league. You said it hadn't been released yet, and you played it acoustic for him.
And by the way, so Letterman, the first time on Letterman, we did Big League. And I'm talking to the band to my right, and of course, he comes out, and I swing around, I hit him in the gut with the guitar stock. I don't know if you ever saw that, and he doubles over.
I don't remember that. I was still stunned.
But no, the Bob Bourne tournaments, man, I played in about 5 of them. My good friend Rick Montgomery kind of set that up and was the conduit for having me out there. So Kelowna is just an amazing place. I mean, the whole interior, Kamloops as well, and I just love it. I'm going to enjoy doing these shows in Cranbrook and Trail just acoustically with Bill Bell. But yeah, say hi to him for me and everybody at that used to come out to the Bob Bourne. There were great tournaments up there in Gallagher's Canyon, and we did raise a lot of money for charity. And it was the Islander guys. It was a lot of all the Islander guys.
They were hot then.
Yeah, Clark Gillies and all those guys came out. It was great. Butch and everybody. Yeah.
Oh, that was a great time. But I got to say, Tom, it's obviously an honor. Anybody interviews you, it's an honor for them. But for me, 30 plus years calling games in the CFL and junior hockey, your songs were always echoing in the arenas. And when we won, they'd play Victory Day. So you're associated with good feelings. How does that feel? Like there's like a sports theme through your musical career.
It's funny because it's professional sports are still playing a lot of the
because they're good
rewind stuff, right?
Yeah,
the classic stuff. So great songs. I mean, stand the test of time, right? And they impact people. I mean, we get a lot of, especially in the festivals in the summer, a lot of kids coming out to the shows, and obviously they've been indoctrinated through the music by radio play, but their parents and their brothers and sisters, and so it's pretty cool when I heard it at the end of the Leafs game, the one they won.
Yeah, right.
They hadn't won in a while, but
Philly,
at the end of the game the other night.
What'd they play? Big League or
no? It was Life's a Highway. Yeah, but Big League used to. Big League, and I'd still have to defer to Stompin' Tom though with the ultimate classic hockey song. But I think Big League in terms of message and storyline is on a different level than that.
John in Edmonton wants to know who your favorite NHL team is and CFL team.
I'm in Calgary, but I'd like to see a Canadian team win the Cup. I'm going to try to be diplomatic here, but Oilers are looking really good. That friggin' New Jersey team is amazing.
Flying.
Just this team. I'm not a New Jersey fan, but they are incredible.
Might become one, yeah.
They look like a souped up junior world champion team. That's what they looked like the other night playing the Oilers.
Flying. And
the Oilers played well, but they had a bit of a lapse for 7 seconds there, and that cost them the game. So I'd say the Oilers. I like the Leafs. I mean, I'm a late kind of. I joined the bandwagon late with the Leafs, like probably 20 years ago.
Okay.
And I got to admit, I see Nazem Kadri's a good friend. So I remember his dad telling the story to the Globe and Mail. He's going to the hospital, and he played Big League all the way. My boy's going to play in the Big League. And that really impacted me.
Major
anthem. It gives me chills now, because they were immigrant family, and to them they wanted to be great Canadians. Part of it was my boy's going to be a hockey player. I'm going to, and look at him now. Look what he's doing to the Flames.
Stanley Cup champion too.
Yeah.
My last question for you: are you familiar with the Grey Cup halftime controversy right now? That we're 16 days from the game and they haven't named a halftime act.
No, and by the way, I got to say the Bombers. Being in Manitoba,
of course, I figured.
I grew up watching Leo Lewis and Kenny Payne, and it's a lot of
still
you
legends.
probably don't even remember.
I just know there's a statue of Kenny Payne in front of the stadium. That's all I've seen of Kenny Payne.
Yeah.
But 1994 Grey Cup, the halftime act was a guy named Tom Cochrane, one of the greatest ever. BC Lions, Lou Pasaglia, last-second field goal to beat Baltimore, right?
Yeah, it was amazing.
Your set list was one song.
Yeah.
Life is a
I thought
Highway.
we played a couple songs.
What says, okay, Wikipedia
I thought
says
we
one
played 4.
song. Probably.
I thought we played 4.
That must have been cool.
And that was indoor. That was very cool.
Yeah.
That was a first and only.
That's what I'm going through.
Grey
this.
Cup with an American team. Was it?
Well, the next year Baltimore won in Regina over.
Right,
yeah,
of course.
But it was your one and only Grey Cup.
Yeah. Well, no, we played Grey Cups. We did. No, we didn't.
Like a game.
No, I get confused.
The internet isn't always right, Tom.
I know. No, we've done a lot of CFL. But we've done a bunch of halftime shows. Regina, Edmonton. We opened the season last year. Was it last year or the year before?
Last year. Yeah, that was.
And Winnipeg, we've done a couple. So I get confused which ones were.
It's all good, but football works perfectly for concerts at halftime. It's perfect.
Yeah.
So listen, I promised your guy we'd let you get out. I'll see you tonight.
Okay, brother.
Thanks
good.
for the time.
Yeah, come on
Appreciate
back.
it. All right. Well, we will. Absolutely. Tom Cochrane, the great.
Good to see you.
Good to see you. Nice to meet you. Thanks for everything.
Hey,
everything.
My pleasure.
Thank you. We'll be right back with Viewer Takeover. It's the RP Show on Game Plus TV, YouTube Live, and WQEE 99.1 FM.
Have you subscribed to the Rod Pedersen Show YouTube channel yet? Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now.
Text 902-518-3033. 902-518-3033. Pick up your phone and text RP, that's Rod Pedersen. Text 902-518-3033.
I gotta hit the beat.
Download Dark Horse Bets today.
I gotta hit the beat.
Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. Experts in all residential and commercial plumbing services and proudly serving Regina and area since 1978. Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. We'll treat you right. And that's a wrap on summer, everyone. Things are about to get back to busy. Work, school, errands, they're all coming back. That's why we make buying easy at Capital GMC. Reserve your brand new truck or SUV today. Check out our great selection of in-stock GM certified pre-owned trucks and make some cold hard cash by selling us your used vehicle. We pay big and you can skip the hassle of selling privately. Plus, our service department is always here to help with any make or model. Capital GMC, making back to busy easy.
Business owners and marketers. Okay, we know you think we're pretty cool. That's why we want you to share in the coolness factor. Partner with the Rod Pedersen Show and market your business every weekday to sports lovers just like yourself. Take advantage of our many cost-effective commercial and promotional opportunities. Tell the world about your business. Yes, the world. Thanks to Game Plus TV and the Rod Pedersen Digital Network. Contact us today and find out how you can be a part of Canada's fastest-growing sports talk show, The Rod Pedersen Show.
Okay, here we go. We're back for the final time this week. How about that? And our COO, Lee Genier, has joined us, and I got to go back and think who would be the most famous guest on the RP show. I think we just had him. Lee Genier.
Yeah. I mean, that ranks up there. I mean, we've had a lot, so.
Well, we have, but I want to thank Sheldon and the crew from Grey Eagle Event Center, Grey Eagle Resort and Casino for lining up Tom Cochrane, and I don't BS, right? You've known me a long time. I don't BS. People may not like what I say, but at least you know it's coming from here. That was emotional for me.
That was good.
Probably for you meeting him, too.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, we had a great chat there about some mutual friends we have, so, hey, it was beauty.
Hey, guys and gals, by the way, we've got text messages coming in here from this Calgary area on the 902 line. So people that are guaranteeing they'll go to the concert if they win the contest. So, yeah. Jack in Vulcan says, I first started watching, that's a football question. I don't know, are we flipping back to football here, or are we going to talk entertainment for a while?
Let's talk entertainment. That's our encore for the day.
Yes. Like I say, viewer takeover. I'm going to stay out of the 902 texts. And that's for our staff to pick a winner. But like I say, there's a gentleman in Airdrie that guarantees that he'll go. John Ohm in Winnipeg says, does this top Don Cherry, Rod? I will say this. Historically, probably no. I mean, I'm a Don Cherry guy. But I was disappointed that Grapes, he did it over the phone when he did it. I would have liked to have had him do video. But he's 88. My dad wouldn't have been able to do that. And I remember when Cherry came on, I'm not sure if you're watching, he's like, hey, Darren, hey, Rod, how are you? Like, he was deadly. And that just tells you, I think, is that a Canadian thing? Nice people,
I think
nice
so.
People?
Yeah, absolutely. Look how gracious Tom was. I worked with Grapes on a few projects back in the day. It was always gracious. So,
yeah, I mean, they're not jerks. None of them are jerks. And I'll say it again about, Tiger Williams. Back in the day, I said, all these guys that come through I do sports bankets with, they're such good guys. Like, I'd rattle off a million names, and Tiger goes, the good guys are the guys that, A, last. If you're a jerk, you shouldn't really last. And 2, they're the guys that are out doing it. He goes, the jerks want to stay home. So
one of your funnest nights out? Give me that.
How do you mean?
With the, you celebrity, sports star, one of your icons.
Oh, I'm not good at on the spot. I'd have to take a couple, because I've had quite a few. Well, Michael Irvin at Super Bowl wasn't bad. Does that count?
Oh, absolutely. Oh.
You've had a lot.
I have a lot, yeah. Me and Gordie Howe getting drunk at the Westin downtown. How about that?
See, well, and here's the thing, by the way. Michael Irvin, team recovery. Me,
right.
Team recovery. He's sitting there pounding Diet Cokes like it's his job. The playmaker at Super Bowl just last year. So, I'm not sitting here looking down my nose at anybody. Believe me, I got a million stories that we could never tell on the air.
Yeah.
That's a fact. For me, too. But Lee's stories are all, I can't tell you on the... They're just about all like that. No.
Hey, what happens off camera stays
off camera. John, he's got all the great questions today. Have you met Jerry Jones yet, Rod? Yes, I have, but that wasn't anything special. I was getting a tour of Cowboy Stadium, and he came out and shook everybody's hand, but that was nothing. I didn't sit down and talk to him like some of these other guys. There's not too many guys that I haven't met. Met George Strait, Would love to meet Letterman. You said you're a huge Letterman fan, too.
Oh, yeah, man. I started watching Letterman. I had the Letterman shirt. He was iconic. I think I was, just
like me.
Going, I would have been my teen years, so.
Same with me.
Huge. College.
Just huge. Sprinkling a couple comments here. Carlos in Indianapolis says, another fastest 2 hours of the day gone away. Great coffee table conversation, everyone. From Wayne and Victoria, Canadians are generally gracious people from what I've heard from people that aren't Canadian. Fair, but I'm getting treated really well in the United States. And as my good friend Curtis Hunt, hockey aficionado, says, the older brother that I didn't need, he said there's nice people everywhere. You just got to get out and travel around. But to the Letterman thing, I never missed it. What did he come on, 11 o'clock every night? Was it 11?
Yeah, the late
Depending
show.
on the time change?
Yeah, it was 11 o'clock.
I just remember, I never missed it.
Never.
So I remember the night that he came out, and I want to say it was 92 or 93. Walked to the front of the stage, stopped, looked at the camera, and just went, life is a highway. I want to ride it all night long. And the place went insane in the theater in New York.
Yeah.
It was, Tom Cochrane had the biggest song on the freaking globe. And he sat right there 10 minutes ago.
Man, we have the best jobs.
Oh, don't we? From Rhino Radio in Atlanta, he says, another great show, TGIF. Thank you, Ryan, from Rod O Radio. From Jeff, the Stamps fan. Go, Stamps, go. Go, Stamps, go. He asks if the BC Lions fans are hiding. No, but I've seen a few of them right into the show. We've read some of their comments that I think John Bender said it. The event of the weekend in Canada is the BC Lions Calgary Stampeders. Agree or disagree?
Yeah, I would agree. Everybody's watching. They're selling into the upper bowl, which is great to see. They announced Grey Cup there next year. So, yeah, that's the game I'm going to be glued to on Sunday.
They're rolling the credits, I think. We gone. Thank you, Lee. Thank you, Tom Cochrane. Thank you, John Bender, our entire crew. We'll see you Monday, noon Eastern, on Game Plus TV. Thanks for the great comments, and WQEE. Who has more fun than us?
Have you subscribed to the Rod Pedersen Show YouTube channel yet? Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now.